If you have a gun, you're not very intelligent.
Why's that?
Because you're paranoid. If you think you need a gun for your house, for whatever, if you think you have something that's worth someone else's life, then you are ignorant.
Tommy Chong is a Canadian comedian, actor, musician, and activist, but he is most known for
I'm Cheech's friend, Chong.
Cheech and Chong comedy albums and movies, and his role as Leo on That 70s Show. Some time ago, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and there was a portion of the podcast where he talked about guns. Well, let's just say Tommy Chong isn't a fan of the pew-pew.
Responsibility is a heavy responsibility, man.
And tried to explain his reasons why. So let's do some debunking gun control of Tommy Chong's appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast.
If you have a gun, you're not very intelligent.
Why's that?
Because you're paranoid.
If you have a gun, you're not intelligent because you're paranoid?
Having a gun means that you're afraid that someone's going to come and attack you. And so that having a gun is like they want to arm teachers, for instance.
That seems kind of crazy.
That is so stupid. It is so dumb.
Right.
You know, and just like the ones that know about guns, like the cops that didn't go into the school, they knew the guy's got a AK. They're not going to go into that school with their little pistols. And so they didn't go into the school. And the ones that rushed the guy, they ended up dying. So what I'm saying is that if you have a gun, and if you think you need a gun for your house, for whatever, if you think you have something that's worth someone else's life, then you are ignorant.
Let me first point out that Tommy Chong is 80 years old in this clip. And in those 80 years, I'm positive he smoked a ton of marijuana.
You got all right, man? Oh, yeah.
So the complete lack of linear thought in this clip doesn't surprise me. I think owning a gun for protection in a country with over 400 million random people dealing with an untold amount of violent psychological deviances and tendencies who have immediate access to all kinds of weapons and items like vehicles that can be used as weapons doesn't make me paranoid. It makes me the Neil deGrasse Tyson of social acuity. If the world was such an idyllic, non-violent sphere of utopia, you wouldn't have a problem with people having guns because there would be nothing to worry about. Yet here you are worried about the fact that people have guns for protection and absolutely no judgment or critique of the criminals who use the same guns to assault and kill the same people you're calling unintelligent for having guns to defend themselves from those criminals. Can you say victim blaming? To make matters worse, you say arming teachers are dumb, but then use a school shooting where a bunch of kids and teachers died because the cops with guns didn't go into the school as your example for why arming teachers is dumb.
Right, but if someone has a gun in their house to protect themselves from home invasions do happen. And people have saved their family with guns. That's a real thing.
Well, you don't read about that much.
Oh, you read about it plenty if you go looking for it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, there's
Someone
plenty
come
of
in
stories.
the house, yeah.
This video is honestly writing itself. Keep in mind, he just said if you have a gun in your house for protection, you're ignorant. Yet it's too ignorant to know that 847,522 burglaries were reported in the FBI in 2022, an increase over the number reported in 2021. But when Joe literally tells him that, no, this happens all the time, and you'd know this if you just looked into it, he doesn't retract his statement. He doesn't admit he's wrong. No, he just sips his water and acts like he didn't just call an entire group of people ignorant for owning a gun for home defense while he himself is entirely ignorant on the issue. Don't do drugs, kids. Just don't do drugs. Oh, but it also gets worse.
Yeah,
It does happen occasionally.
I'm in business with a ex pilot from Vietnam, and I'm quite sure he has a sidearm in his house. But it would be useless because it's so locked away and so hidden by the time anything happened. By the time he got to that gun and got it loaded and found the ammunition and everything else.
Oh, did Mr. People who own guns are unintelligent just prove why safe storage gun laws are stupid? I did a video 4 years ago saying just that.
Honest, there is no epidemic of accidental gun deaths that warrant throwing people in jail for not locking up their guns in their homes. Personally, I don't like being legally mandated to lock up my guns. The whole point of me having a firearm as a firearm owner is to be able to have a gun at the ready whenever I need it. Things don't go down in real life like they do in the movies. In the movies, the criminal will send a note that he's coming, show up, ring the doorbell before he kicks in the door, and then start monologuing about how he's coming to kill you as he slowly walks up your staircase. In real life, you have seconds to get to your gun in a home invasion situation. Not to mention, you're usually caught by surprise. All of the odds are already stacked against law-abiding gun owners. And that's my problem with gun storage laws. They only account for the possibility of accidental shootings, but don't account for the reality of a defensive shooting, which is more likely to happen than an accidental shooting. Watch this video and tell me if you think having a gun locked up would have helped or hurt me in this situation. Keep in mind, I knew what was about to happen and I still felt like I didn't have enough time to get to my gun fast enough.
Just saying.
If it's your daughter or something coming in late at night and you mistake her for...
Or, and hear me out, what if it's actually a home invader? What makes more sense? Not having a gun for protection because you might mistake an intruder for your daughter and then still have to deal with the possibility that you might have an actual intruder, but no gun. Or get some basic home defense training, put a light on your gun, don't shoot blindly into the dark, and also have a gun in case it actually is someone trying to kill you.
I grew up with guns where you actually needed a gun,
right.
You know, like especially when the hawks are coming down to get your chickens or some stuff like that. But I seen the gun culture in Calgary, and it turned me off because I seen kids. They would take a stray dog and bring him up to the field and tie him to a tree or something, or a post, and then shoot him.
Oh, Jesus.
Shoot him.
Wait, what? You just said anyone who owned guns is ignorant, and now you grew up with guns? Not to mention, what do you mean you grew up with guns where you actually needed them? Joe just told you that home invasions happen all the time, and you're still acting like no one needs a gun. I don't understand this level of cognitive dissonance. I'm sorry, but who the f were you growing up with where young kids were tying stray dogs up and shooting them for fun? That is not a gun problem, that's a psychological issue. Crazy thing is, it'll be those same deranged kids killing stray dogs that'll grow up and become the very criminals that we non-criminals have guns to protect ourselves against. Imagine seeing kids tie up stray dogs to shoot them for no reason, and the only thing you walk away with is, I don't like guns. The hell? That was your takeaway? Not these kids are psychopaths and need to get some help. Not who the hell is raising these kids to have this type of behavior. No. Tying up and shooting stray dogs is not normal. So how about we focus on the behavior instead of the tool that they used? I don't see you saying you hate rope that they used to tie the dogs up with.
I'm a sharpshooter, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some what do you call it, patches, you know, sharpshooter, 300 yards. So I know how to handle a rifle anyway. But when we go shooting, we would have to, first of all, we never got the weapon, and until we marched down into firing position, then we were handed the weapon and one bullet. And then we put the bullet in, shoot the target, had another bullet, shoot the target. And then when we were finished, we had to pick up all our casings and give them back. And if anything was missing, no one left until they found that missing bullet. And that's gun safety.
Yeah.
Then the gun was taken from us and put in an armory. It's only used when you're going to use it, you know. It's just like walking around with a skill saw, you know. You can have a license to carry a skill saw, but you don't have a skill saw strapped to your side. You can take out and try your skill saw anytime you want.
So essentially, anytime I need a gun to defend myself, you want me to tell the criminal to wait before killing me because I need to ask the government to bring me a gun so that I can use it to defend myself. And they're going to give me one bullet. You see how idiotic that sounds? Now, keep in mind, this is basically the same argument people make when they say we don't need guns because we have police. The same police you'll have to tell the criminal who is trying to kill you to wait. I have to call the cop so that they can come with their guns before you try to kill me. People don't think shit through.
So the open carry thing is very strange. When you see people walking around with guns strapped to their hips in Arizona, you're like, okay.
They're targets.
Well,
once you do that,
yeah.
you're a target.
In a way, yeah.
It's like the bikers. Like bikers, you know, the Hells Angels and the Mongols and that, they're the only crime and syndicate I know that advertise.
Yeah.
On their back. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm a thug. I'm a, you know, I extort. I do all sorts. I beat up people. I kill people. Yeah, and I ride on a big hog, you know. I mean, it's crazy. But people do that for recognition.
Yeah.
See, that's like mass shooters. That's what they do it for.
The debate about open carry versus concealed carry has been raging in the gun community for a long time. This is a tactics question that has turned into an ideological question when it shouldn't. I don't open carry, but I don't have a problem with people who do. I prefer the element of surprise, and other people who open carry prefer a passive warning of, hey, there are people with guns in here. Don't try anything. It's all personal preference. Most normies get freaked out when they see a gun because they don't trust the people with the guns because they're paranoid that those people who open carry are gonna start randomly shooting people, as if people who conceal carry can't do the same thing. So Tommy, I ask you, since you're so paranoid about people open carrying, does that make you ignorant?
It's like the same thing, only different.
Right now, shop.mrcolionnoir.com, we just released our new Stanley style water tumblers or coffee tumblers or whatever you want to put in it, because this keeps your cold drinks cold for 24 hours and your hot drinks hot for 12 hours. On top of that, you get your straw, but even better, you can make it leak proof. But the best thing about it is you can actually put any of the designs, the 2A designs that I have at shop.mrcolionnoir.com on your tumbler. So now you have a better looking tumbler with better functionality, and yeah. So head over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com or hit the link in the description section. Speaking of ignorant, click here or here to watch a feminist advocate for the Second Amendment while trying to be a troll. And don't forget to like this video, share this video, leave a comment, and then subscribe to the channel.